Many people that know me will come up and ask one simple question. They ask, what is the most important thing I can do to be able to reach optimal health? Knowing the years in the MBA and training thousands of doctors, they want to know that one simple truth. You want to hear about it? It's actually very easy. It's to digest your food. That's the number one thing you can do to be able to reach optimal health, is break your food all the way down from the food itself, assimilate it into the bloodstream, and have it be utilized at the cell level. Because guess what happens when you don't digest your food? We get death. We die. If our body doesn't take the food we eat and deliver it to the cell, we have death. So most of us do digest our food partially, right? But when we only partially digest our food, our body gives us warning signals saying, hey, we really need to completely break down this food so we can have optimal health. What are those warning signals? Things like indigestion, gas, bloating, heartburn. And then if we ignore those warning signals, that leads to heart disease, to diabetes, to arthritis, because undigested foods can clog up the arteries, fats, can cause diabetes, the sugars, can actually cause crystals in the joints, causing a lot of pain, arthritis. So that's why digestion is number one. So how do we ensure that we digest our food to get rid of the gas, the bloating, the indigestion, even get rid of the brain fog that happens many times when we're not breaking our food down properly? It's actually really simple. One is we chew our food thoroughly, just like Grandma said. Two, we make sure that the food has this natural item in it that nature put in to begin with called enzymes. Enzymes are the key. They're the secret. They're the energetic electricity that breaks the food down and delivers the nutrients to the cell. And it's in every raw food in the world. When you have an apple, this apple, if we set it here, would start to rot. Really, it's digesting itself because the enzymes in the apple start working on it. Now, in a few years, this apple will actually become a tree. But when we take a bite of that apple, the enzymes in it will digest and deliver the nutrients all the way to the cells to allow us to have optimal health. But when we don't eat raw food, when we eat food that's cooked and processed, anything over 118 degrees, basically anything that's out in the market that we go and buy in the fast food restaurants and in the stores, anything that's in the bags, it's usually processed and cooked. When the enzymes are destroyed, the food no longer has the ability to digest itself. And that, remember, leads to either optimal health if we digest it or to disease if we don't. So I have an example here. This is a Big Mac, and this Big Mac is years old. Can you believe that? But today we could probably put some water on it. Besides it being a little crispy from drying out, we could put it in the microwave with a little bit of that water and probably sell it to you. Why? Because the Big Mac was void of enzymes like any other cooked and processed food. And I really want to emphasize this point to you, that you should eat more raw food and chew that food. When you don't eat raw food, then you need to add back the enzymes that was in the food when nature actually made it. I'm going to show you a really important demonstration. This demonstration will help you understand why eating raw food is number one, and when you don't eat raw food, you should take Digestive meal with every meal. So I have here plant enzymes that come from nature. These are the enzymes that are naturally found in the raw food, like from the apple or the other foods, as it comes from the ground. And we pull the enzymes out and put them in the capsule. And you want to take these anytime you have a meal that consists of processed or cooked food. And here's a demonstration. We're going to take snack pack pudding. And snack pack pudding represents actually any cooked or processed food, whether it's a healthy food or a non-healthy food. This could be oatmeal or anything else. And so just think of it as any food where it's been cooked or processed over 118 degrees. Now we're going to take one side of the pudding and we're going to add back the enzymes. Remember, these are the enzymes that are naturally occurring in raw food. And so we're going to dump them into it just like you're eating the food raw, or in this case, when you don't have the ability to, you take one of the capsules of Digestive meal and we're going to stir it up. Now the reason we're stirring up the pudding is because in our body we have something called peristaltic action. Peristaltic action is the wave-like motion of the stomach that happens, and one of the main reasons that you want to be able to do abdominal work and things like that is so that you can have strong peristaltic action, strong movement of the stomach. And we're going to Stir the other side, because this side, even though it represents cooked food, when you eat it, you still digest it down as far as the churning part of it. In other words, your body's still going through that peristaltic action. But remember, this side is devoid of any enzymes. So now we have a person that eat either raw food, right, or added back digestive meal, the digestive enzymes from the food, or a meal that's just cooked or processed. And let's see what happens. So you can see in a kind of a dramatic demonstration there that the person that ate more raw food or added back the enzymes when they eat cooked and processed food are going to deliver the nutrients to the cells that stop indigestion, gas, bloating, helps to clear up the mind, and then actually stops those diseases from happening. The heart disease from the fats not being digested, arthritis from the proteins not being digested, diabetes from the sugars and carbohydrates not being digested properly. The key, eat more raw food, but when you don't, digest your meals by taking back the enzymes that nature put in the first place.